Hey guys, Dragon Ball for Life here today, and I'm back with another video. Now, today's video, I'm going to be doing the part 2 of Dragon Ball GT's Dangerous 100 Years Time Skip Ending by Saiyan Scholar. Now, the first one, I was almost done. I only had around 10 minutes left, but it was reaching almost to an hour, and I didn't want to stretch it out too long, so I was like, you know what, let me make a part 2. Hopefully, part 2 is going to be shorter. But yeah, I'm just going to go through the rest of this video and talk about, his depiction of Goku's power and what it reached to in the, after the 100-year time skip of GT, because I don't really agree with a lot of the stuff he's saying. I feel like he's over exaggerating GT Goku's power. So yeah, I've disagreed with him quite a bit on this. So I just want to see what his ending argument is going to be about his power.
Why it's just not there. Then that can potentially mean Goku is 5D for being able to live in his regular 4D universe, but also being able to exist somewhere else where nothing else in the 4D universe can be at. And on top of all that, he's actually been training for 100 years, which makes his potential reach levels we cannot even begin to imagine. Who knows how efficient his power could grow once merging with it.
The problem I have with 100-year time skip Goku, the problem I have with the 100-year time skip Goku is the fact that simply he's, how do you say, he doesn't have enough showings for us to know an accurate depiction of his power. We can't accurately say he's this powerful or that powerful because, to be honest, we haven't been shown what he can do. I feel the same way with, and even though it's not to that extent because that one still has some stuff in it, I feel like the same way with Giorno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where his Golden Experience Requiem was only in one fight in a couple of chapters, and we haven't seen past that. So I always feel like it's unfair to use him in the debates on how powerful he is, because we haven't fully seen his full showing. But he at least has some stuff. GT Goku, on the other hand, the 100-year time skip stuff, has even less. We haven't even seen the guy, so how can we really accurately depict how powerful he is or what level of power he is? You have to estimate and do a lot of headcanon, which ends up just being BS anyway. So it's like, what's the point of doing it? We don't really know legit how powerful he is, so we can't really estimate an accurate representation of his power.
The Dragon Balls. Some guides, the Daizenshu Super Exciting Guide and a board game guide, say the other world is 5D. I think Takeo Koyama even mentioned 5D, or maybe he even said 60. But you have to remember, he fully admitted he doesn't power scale. He doesn't like versus battles or anything like that. He just enjoys writing, and that is a guy who literally said Broly solos the Z-verse, so take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But even if you did want to go with the other world being 5D from the other sources, thus making many characters in Dragon Ball reach that level, that also makes the location where Goku went potentially 60 realm, depending on which source you think is the most reliable. Personally, I think it's a bit extreme going 60. I think it's reasonable to say that the universe and everything in the model is 4D, but the Dragon Realm is beyond that, a higher level dimension. That makes the most sense. So why is GT Goku have to leave him with Shenlong 5D? It's because he has the power, ability.
Here's the problem with that. This is, first of all, is just GT's cosmology and logic. We've never ever heard of a dragon dimension or anything. They just they pulled the shit out of their ass towards the end of the thing, just so they could be like, okay, we need a reason for the Dragon Balls not to be on Earth anymore, have Goku leave, and have this whole big stuff. So let's make this BS godly realm where the dragons reside in, even though they technically reside in the Dragon Balls and they were created by the Namekians. It makes no sense. The Dragon Balls are created by the Namekians, which created these creatures, yet these creatures have their own separate dimension outside of the entire Dragon Ball, macrocosm. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Also, we don't have any real definition or proof of how it looks like, what the dimension is. The fact that he's just saying it's a 5D dimension is just him over-exaggerating. It's him, taking the liberties of, headcanon and just making his own presumptions of the realm that he's residing in. And also, just because you reside in a higher dimension does not mean you have higher tier of power, because it's not like he's fighting, destroying that dimension or whatever. He's just residing in it, and it's different than a being that's from that dimension. He just moved to that dimension. It's just weird, and we don't even know if it's 5D at all.
Live in the Shenlong world that no other being in the entire universe structure can get to. Not even the highest level of Kai or gods in the hierarchy.
They never said they couldn't. They just said nobody. That could mean straight up people.
Even if you want to put him against another being of 5D power, Goku is 100 years ahead in terms of experience with that power he had when he left with Shenlong.
Once again, never stated,
Is
proven to be
Goku
5D.
truly omnipotent, close to, or not at all? Let's look at what he's actually done and what he can become.
I want to talk about this. He said close to. Usually people mention when a character is powerful is they're nigh omnipotent, basically mean almost all powerful, which doesn't make sense. You're either all powerful or you're not. You're not. There's no such thing as nigh omnipotence. There's no such thing as almost infinite. It's just you're infinite or not. If a character is not infinite, then they're not infinite. Don't say nigh omnipotent. It's just a BS word people use to overpower or over exaggerate characters that they like.
Compared to in Dragon Ball GT. Firstly, let's discuss the Black Star Dragon Balls and the regular Dragon Balls. From the lore of Dragon Ball itself, the power of a dragon fully depends on the power of a guardian. You cannot simply ask a Shenlong to kill a villain if the villain's power surpasses the dragon and the power of the wish surpasses the guardian's potential. It's that simple. With Granola in Dragon Ball Super, there was a sacrifice. That's a little bit different. Now, Kami and Dende have pitiful levels of power, but manage to create Shenlong that can grant almost anything. Keyword, almost, with restrictions in some cases.
I don't think it's 100% always directly linked to their power levels, which I do think they have some correlations, but I think it's mostly linked through their magical power. Because remember I think it was the Dragon Clan and the Namekians, they're known for their power, their magical prowess, whereas the Warrior Clan is known for their physical prowess. So I think when they're talking about like the power, I think they mean their magical level. Like they don't have the magical capabilities to do these things or that things. They're more limited. And Dende, since he was on Namek, he was trained more. Even though Dende is definitely way weaker than Kami, even by himself, he was trained more in the arts of magic and crafting and stuff. So for him it's easier and he has more knowledge to it and also more training when it comes to it, even though he was significantly younger than Kami and significantly weaker than him.
The same with the Namekian Dragon Balls. The power of those dragons correlates with the strength of the Guardian. Now this is
Their
why
magical
the Black
power.
Star Dragon Balls are a very special case because the Guardian actually was the nameless Namekian. So let's just say Piccolo for ease, because Piccolo was linked to them in GT. The reason why the Black Star Dragon Balls have unlimited power, yes, literally stated to be limitless and could grant anything, is due to the Guardian being insanely stronger in raw power than just a regular Guardian.
Once again, it's not going by stuff raw power, it's going by magical power, because if that was the case, then Kami, regular Shenron the first time would have been significantly stronger than, Dende's dragon. And the village elder of, Namek, we don't know if he's stronger than Kami. Kami possibly stronger than him, even without, Piccolo infused with him. He's probably still stronger than him, and, Purunga is significantly stronger than Shenron. So I don't agree with that. Also, I don't know where they stated that the Black Star Dragon Balls was infinite, has, limitless wishing potential like the Super Dragon Balls. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've ever really stated that.
Guardian like Dende and Kami. Piccolo's power in general, even as the nameless Namekian, was dimensions above Dende and Kami. So it's no surprise the dragon that spawned from the nameless Namekian's power is the dog's bollocks and reached the omnipotent level in the 4D universe because the wishes have unlimited potential. What does this have to do with end of GT Goku? Well, it's simple, isn't it? If the nameless Namekian's power to create a dragon was what it took to reach 4D limitless, then what do you think the Dragon Balls and Shenlong, once merging with Goku's power at the end of GT, would be capable of? Goku plus Dragon Balls plus Shenlong cannot be anything less than Piccolo plus Dragon Balls plus Shenlong. It's that simple, because Goku is literally seen merging with Shenlong and the Dragon Balls. That power initially in the dragon created by Dende has now combined with Goku's power, which ultimately enhances both Shenlong and the Dragon Balls and Goku because they've all merged, like a type of fusion. Furthermore, as shown in the GT special with Pan and Puck, there's extra support of Goku's wishing potential without having the need for all 7 Dragon Balls. This guy just goes freestyle, using the Black Star Dragon Balls against Dragon God Goku and the other way around.
I would say that the Dragon Balls at that point were just for show, because like how Omega Shenron absorbed it, he absorbed it in his body. When he gave him the physical one, I don't think it didn't matter if it was 1 or 7, because at that point he basically absorbed Shenron into him. So now he has Shenron's wishing abilities. So I don't think And Goku was because one Dragon Ball, and if you have all seven of them, it's even more powerful. I just think it's simply that since he absorbs Shenron, he has his wishing ability, so he doesn't really need the Dragon Balls to do it. He has the power to do it himself. So giving that one, the reason why he gave that one was because it was, I think, his 4-star one, so it was just symbolic. But also here he had the power, so he doesn't really need it.
Should not have any.
It doesn't require
both
1 or 7.
Are unlimited and can cancel each other out in terms of their own power. It would make absolutely no sense for the nameless Namekian's creation to overpower Dragon God Goku 100 years after GT. If the Black Star Dragon Ball's power are omnipotent to the 4D universe, limitless power, then Goku's new power would not be nigh omnipotent, or anything less than omnipotent in this case, by using the lore of the Dragon Balls. He's not omnipotent in general, just to the 4D universe, where he could completely walk.
But by that logic, then that would mean the nameless Namekian and Piccolo were also had 4D, infinite 4D, because their dragon can wish, have an infinite, a limitless level of what the wish could be. That you see how illogical that is? Because if you're gonna go by this by saying, well, he absorbed it and he's shown that he can have no limits with his wishing potential, then by that it's directly connected to the nameless Namekian and Piccolo, then that would mean that the nameless Namekian and Piccolo are infinite 4D, which that is not the case. They're nowhere near that level of power.
Or the reality of the 4D verse.
So yeah, this is some of the worst logic I've heard. It just makes no sense.
Now, talk about End of GT Goku's ability to appear in different realms, particularly after Omega Shenron. Goku appeared instantly in Hell and shook Piccolo's hand saying goodbye. Now, what I'll be talking about here doesn't prove 4D omnipotence, but it does prove Goku can pass through dimensions as he pleases.
He could do that already in Dragon Ball Z. Remember when he's teleported to heaven and stuff. He's teleported to Supreme Kai's realm, which is right in the other world, which is where dead people go, and he's gone there just to train naturally. So he's been alive there. And when he was in, Otherworld, he went to the Supreme Kai's world by just sensing Gohan's ki and teleporting there. Goku can go to any of these dimensions in Dragon Ball through instant transmission if he locks onto an energy signature. That's one of the crazy things about instant transmission is it's not limited to the dimensions that you are at. It might be limited to the timelines, obviously, but not the dimensions. You can go there as long as there's nothing interfering with your, ability to sense energy, and as long as the person's energy that he's sensing is quite powerful enough and emitting enough energy for him to track and locate to. So him getting to Piccolo, the reason he was able to get to him is because, he senses energy and use instant transmission. He's been able to always do that, and the reason he did in the other arc where the whole what's the thing called, I guess the argument for the reason they have for a Super 17 arc why he needed Piccolo and Dende to do the thing to get him out of there and he couldn't instant transmit out of there was because Dr. Gero and Dr. Mew messing with Hell and creating the machines and stuff that warped Hell, Heaven, and the living realm, and it basically that blocked him from doing it. But now since that mistake has been fixed, he can go through it normally like how he normally would do. Goku throughout all the time with instant transmission can go to Hell or any of these dimensions as long as there's a significant enough of an energy signature to lock onto.
With a hack of Ascend into his change state. Dimensional skipping, if you will. Now, initially, I bet you'll find this pointless and believe Goku can teleport anywhere in the universe, including heaven or hell, if he can easily teleport to the Supreme Kai's world, which is further away, and Kid Buu can also appear in the other world in the anime. What's the big deal? Well, let me tell you. It's proven in Dragon Ball Goku cannot use instant transmission to heaven or hell, as we never see him teleport to those parts.
So his argument is, so we never see him, so that means he can't. They never state he can't. Oh, think about it logically. If he's going to the King Kai's world, where it's literally an other world, which is where heaven is occupied, and the fact that he's able to go to the Supreme Kai's realm, where no other mortal has been able to enter, even other Kais, not even the Grand Kai was able to go there. If he can go to these dimensions, and especially the Supreme Kai's realm, which is outside of it, revolving around it, if he can do that, why the hell can I go to heaven or hell? Just because he hasn't been shown. It never stated that he couldn't. It's just shown that he hasn't. And the reason why he didn't go to heaven or hell, which his argument is like, well, he hasn't. Why would he go teleport to heaven or hell? Heaven and hell have nothing for him. Hell is just full of his enemies and is a place to suffer. So Goku has no reason to go there. Heaven, there's no potential there. What is he gonna get? The only reason he would go to these other dimensions is to train or need help or whatever. But there's nothing of that source there. And I'm pretty sure he went to hell Goku went to hell and Dragon Ball Super by himself. He went there naturally himself.
The realms, and why is this? He could do this with the Supreme Kai's world or King Kai's planet, but why do we never see him teleport straight to hell or heaven, except through the use of an assistant guide like Baba or the taxi driver? You see, heaven and hell are much different in terms of dimensionality. Either way, in GT, teleporting to heaven or hell wasn't possible, as proven where Goku, despite relearning instant transmission at the end of the Baby Saga, thanks to Piccolo.
I already explained this. Since Dr. Zero and Dr. Mew messed with hell and heaven, it really messed up the balance of reality. That's why all the villains from hell came to Earth, and that's why they said there's a disruption and stuff. So yeah, they literally stated and explained in that why he could not just teleport out of there, simply because of the effects that was happening because of Dr. Mew and Dr. Zero's plans.
Piccolo, and could also use it as Super Saiyan 4 if he wanted to, he still couldn't escape hell in the Super 17 saga by locking onto energy and just saving a load of time. The only person who could have got Goku out of hell was King Yama, but due to the minus energy starting to mess with the worlds, plot had it so Yama couldn't help Goku with his power.
See, Yama couldn't help out because it manipulated reality. That's why Goku couldn't teleport. If he can't even do it and he runs that place, obviously Goku's not going to be able to teleport out of there. He just disproved himself right here. He just mentioned how they messed up with the dimensions so much that even the King Yama, the guy who normally can do it and transfer them no matter what, couldn't do it. So why the hell would you be surprised that he couldn't instant transmission out of there if it was affecting even Yama's ability to do so? It's just such a dumb argument.
Piccolo could help transmission and is also incapable of the fact he's still in hell means he cannot use instant transmission to escape. So that also supports the unique dimensionality of hell. Even if
also, I will admit GT's writing is kind of dumb because in normal one they become to a spirit form, they lose all their consciousness and memory of who they were, and they're getting tortured a bit, but they're also getting what's the thing called cleansed. And some of you might say, well, bit in Resurrection of F, they didn't do that with Frieza and stuff, and I'll agree they did mess up with what was written. But even then, the argument is, what's his name? Frieza does not have the power he has when he's alive. When you die and you go to hell and stuff, you lose that power and you're powerless. Because if they did have this ridiculous levels of power, it would be easy for them to run it or destroy it. Now I know GT had them using their powers, but here's the thing: GT's inconsistent with the power scaling and in writing. In their writing, they can still use their powers in hell. And what we are right now, they cannot use their powers in hell. Because Frieza, with his power, he could be able to break out of the cocoon and destroy those creatures that were playing drums and stuff. But he couldn't do it because he was powerless. His power was removed. And in this one, GT has bad writing, so he probably didn't think of it, and he was just dumb.
If you want to argue heaven, Goku can get into heaven. It doesn't matter. Hell is the only example we truly need here, because Goku, after ascending at the end of GT, could pop in and out of hell without authority, without instant transfer.
Also, maybe the Shenron just allowed him to go through there because he can go, his wish is he can go through dimensions, but that doesn't mean he's like a multi-dimensional being because he can enter them.
G-teachable rifts and using some official source material, then Goku is 5D as he can cross the dimensional barrier to reach there. But
people need to stop with this dimensional tiering. I've made a couple of videos about it talking about how stupid it is. People are now making anything dimensional and inaccessible speed, all this stuff. It's like, if you exist in this place, if you walk into this place, if you even breathe in this place, you have this power. No. The only times they count is if you're affecting it with your power, you're visibly shaking it with power up, you can manipulate it with alter the reality there, or you can physically destroy it. If you cannot do those things, you're not any dimensional or anything like that. If you cannot affect it, not manipulate, not destroy it, not do anything to it, just existing there is not enough to consider you a higher dimensional being. Just entering there is not enough to consider you a higher dimensional being. You have to be able to affect it, or warp the reality of it, or destroy it. If you cannot do it, then you're not that. And he hasn't shown anything on that level.
Has the ability to teleport through uncrossable dimension.
And that's wrong.
It would still be a decided move in versus battles because GT Goku could literally teleport your ass into hell, and you couldn't escape that dimensionality. screen and say, "Oh, sweet Kami, open the portal." Shenlong realm research and statements in the official material, that's absolutely fine. It's mysterious and vague, and it's completely understandable if someone doesn't find it strong enough of an argument. However, the further information on Goku's feat in Sugaraku's space is far stronger in terms of reliability due to it being official dialogue, statements, and visual representation from the actual Dragon Ball GT show itself. And by researching the history of...
I already talked about the dimension. One, it was never stated that it was infinite. His argument is they could wander forever. I mean, like, well, even if it was Earth-sized, if they can't escape the place, they could walk around in circles. They might not be going a new direction, but they can still wander around forever. He's making it sound like they go a straight line, and that line will never end. And that's where you got the infinite stuff. So that, I already talked about that. But also, he never destroyed the dimension. He punched a hole through it and got let out. And then the portal itself to the dimension closed up on itself, and they just got ejected out. And, you know, Supreme Kai even stated this. Kubito Kai even stated this. He stated that they broke through. He didn't say they destroyed the dimension. He said they broke through or got out and stuff. And what's the thing called? If he was that powerful, then how come he needed to save them from rocks flying? He said the rocks would have crushed them. If he's that powerful, rocks flying at him would do nothing to him.
The concept of super reliable and usable evidence to explain that base GT Goku is 5D in the Baby Saga. Every character in GT around that level of...
Like I said, I already just proven that, so no, they're not 5D in that dimension. And the reason why they're not 5D is two main reasons. One, since Shenron was stated in the official guides and all these other stuff to be galaxy level. He never stated to be above galaxy level. I know he stated, well, the dragons were stated that they destroyed the cosmos. No, they didn't. If they did, that would destroy the universe. They destroyed a galaxy. They destroyed all the celestial objects in that galaxy, all the stars and all the planets, thus ending the galaxy itself as a whole. That's what they did. And Sin Shenron, like I said, in a bunch of guides, is stated to be only galaxy level. And if he was significantly above galaxy level, why would they cap off galaxy level? They would have said universe level at least. That would be the lowest end they would do. Why would they do something so significantly small like galaxy? And when he did go into his Omega Shenron form, then the universe was only getting destroyed, and that was throughout time and passing his energy. Which I know he's tried to argue as him existing alone was destroying it, but my what I was stating was it was the Dragon Balls that were doing it, not him. All the Dragon Balls collected together used the powers of the first dragon they fought. I forgot what his name was. His pollution ability, it amplified all those abilities, and his ability was polluting the nature around the Earth. But now this pollution would spread out to an entire planet, blowing it up, spreading out to everything else, and that's how it would end the universe. But even then, it takes time. It wouldn't one-shot it. It would be through a chain reaction, a process. So that would be not even universal level or universal plus. It would be universal level threat, but not universal level destruction. And that is towards the tail end and the most powerful character there. So in his least most powerful form, his Sin Shenron form, galaxy level only stated, and then his most powerful form threatened the universe through this means. That means that they were not 5-dimensional and the Baby Saga. Obviously when they're significantly weaker.
Conclude they have the same 5D power from a power standpoint.
No.
Just because everyone doesn't always show it doesn't mean they cannot do it. How many
they never shown it.
shockwaves did you see after Goku vs. Beerus and Super? I'll leave it at that because plot takes over. But then if you really want to go out your way to...
No, but Goku vs. Beerus and Dragon Ball Super, they literally explained what happened. When they were throwing the collisions, they first canceled each other out, and Beerus was not carried. Goku was trying to learn, and then after that, they were able to control their... Beerus normally could control it, but he just didn't want to because he wanted to teach Goku. And once when Goku learned it, he started controlling it and contained it within him. So whenever he was throwing punches and kicks, it wasn't destroying the universe itself or threatening it.
Dismiss these two credible foundations of analysis. There's also the Omega Shenron feat
I already just debunked
this destruction that makes fighters at that moment 5D.
Okay, so that's it for this video and saying Scholar's description. I finally finished the whole GT series. It took me quite a bit of time. There was quite a bit of it. It was long, and I had a lot of arguments back and forth. Personally, I disagree with majority of what he stated, especially in this one. I'm saying he's 5D and stuff. He had piss poor excuses. He regurgitated the other statements he made in the other previous ones, which I had debunked through my own means. Now, you might not 100% agree with everything I say, but you can definitely totally see that this guy has been over-exaggerating these powers. I mean, Omega Shenron stuff, like I stated, he did not destroy it, and he still thinks that the Dragon Ball universe is infinite when I've explained multiple times and proved it, but I'll explain it again. Why it's not infinite. It's just a benchmark like with our universe. Our universe is not even technically infinite, but the main reason why it's not infinite is in, Dragon Ball Super, you see the edge of the universe, and they still go by the same description in GT, but you see the edge of the universe, and you see the other realm, so it's like obviously not infinite. That's just a statement, and nothing showed or indicated that it was infinite. If it was, there wouldn't be these other dimensions connecting to it. How do you connect more infinite realities on top of an already infinite reality? There's just not enough. If you have an infinite space, there's nothing you can add onto that infinite space. You can't add more infinite space to infinite space. That's just not how it works. So yeah, I disapprove of this. I disagree. I don't think GT characters, even the ending of Goku with the 100-year time skip, is fifth dimensional. I don't think any of these characters are that level. He put them in 5-dimensional level because of the Suguro, dimension, which I disproven that. He never destroyed it. He just punched a hole through it and it spat him out and then it closed in. And on top of it, the dimension itself, what's the thing called? The dimension was never stated to be actually infinite. He just assumed it because of the statements he was making. Also, if these guys were, this powerful, they wouldn't be struggling against a lot of the things that they were fighting against. The power scaling in GT is inconsistent as hell. I would just say GT has some of the worst power scaling. Dragon Ball Super has atrocious power scaling, but GT has just as bad as power scaling. The only problem is a lot of people dog on Dragon Ball Super and, modern day Dragon Ball power scaling, but they forget how shit GT's was. And this is definitely a problem on Toei Animation's fault for not being consistent or accurate with their stuff. Toriyama has a part to play in this too. He's done this too with the mangas and the movies, but Toei Animation is very notorious for bad writing, and it's shown with GT and definitely Dragon Ball Super's anime, because even though Toriyama has hands-on stuff, they still control most of it. So yeah. I disagree with all this. I don't think GT Goku is that powerful. I don't think any of those feats I agree with. The multipliers are way too ridiculous, unbelievable. They're not 5-dimensional. They're not, multiversal. They're not low multiversal. Hell, I don't even consider them universal. At most, they'll be a universal threat. Omega Shenron, a universal threat, but I don't even consider him a universal level being. I don't think he can one-shot a universe or is universal plus. He doesn't show anything on that level. Because if he did, he would have just destroyed the universe instead of waiting for his energy to, consume it. Because if he's going to destroy the universe anyway, why wait there and let your energy consume it and destroy the universe bit by bit and over time? Why not just one-shot it like how Beerus or Super Saiyan God Goku could do in, Battle of Gods? So, yeah. That's it for these ones. I will be reacting to only his newer stuff. I will be dropping out a video tomorrow of, Dragon Ball Super Broly's, not Super Bros, Dragon Ball Superheroes power scaling video, where I'm going to talk about the power scaling in Dragon Ball Superhero and the statements that are made in there, and clarify some stuff and talk about some stuff about power scaling, because I do have some problems with it, and there's some interesting stuff to talk about it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and stay tuned for tomorrow.